What is up, mofos? JJ back here from Run Pure Bets with another free pick for you. This time it's going to be in the NFL on Christmas Day. Game's going to be played between the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings. Current spread is Saints minus 6.5. Total 51. It is nice to pick up the Hawaii team total over 23.5 from yesterday's vid. Sweat free. But look, remember, they are all not like that. Here I am on Christmas morning doing an NFL video where I could be like opening up gifts from Santa or jerking off. But here I am in the flesh, and I'm all good. I got my boyfriend knows everything mug and my Vaseline. So in reality, what more do we need in life, right? All right, so look, let's make this video short, sweet. I do hope you all get everything you want out of Christmas. I know it's been a rough year overall, but look, again, enjoy this extra time with family, friends, and everybody, hope you all stay safe. Now, look, I'm sure you all got things to do, and look, I got people to do. So let's dive right into this video. Now, we're coming off 3 straight Thursday Night Football wins, and while this game's played on a Friday, let's look to build on that. Now, I know you're looking at my Vikings gear and thinking that I'm probably backing them. Maybe. Now, look, the narrative in this game will be that it's a must-win for the Saints, while the Vikings are basically out of the playoffs. So motivation speaking, the Saints should roll here, right? But why do people use this alone as a handicap? It's just plain lazy. My favorite look in this game is actually going to be the first half under 25.5 points at minus 103. DraftKings in New Jersey. Obviously, I like 26.5. I like it all the way down to 24.5. Viking season's been a tale of 3 parts. Most recent one being quite gloomy. They start 1-5, then follow that up with 5-1, and now lost 2 straight. Where defensively, I mean, look, all year they've kind of just looked like a mess. But even recently, they started to show brighter signs during that 5-1 stretch, but now right back to where they were earlier in the year. Really had a chance to turn this around and have a playoff berth, and now it's practically all but inevitable that they will be out of the playoffs. On the other side, the Saints have now dropped 2 straight close games, but they control their own destiny towards a first-round bye in the playoffs. They win out. They lock up the 2 seed, holding the tiebreaker currently over the Seahawks. Now, Drew Brees made his return last week, and dare I say he looked quite dusty, completing less than 50% of his passes, plenty of short completions at that. He appears to still not be 100% and clearly missing Michael Thomas, and still will be now that he's on injured reserve. So, like, what do we make of this Saints team, right? Their offense wasn't exactly lighting it up with Taysom Hill, and it was more their defense winning those games, and their defense appears to have been a letdown against Philly and the Chiefs. But I will say this, against Philly, maybe a letdown, but against the Chiefs, not so much. From a YPP standpoint, the Chiefs had one of their worst outputs of the season at only 4.5 yards per play. Back to Minnesota, though, who's, by the way, 5th in NFL in yards per play offensively, but only 13th in points per play. This team is clearly not translating yards to points where they should be now. Maybe blame the kicker a bit, maybe blame some 4th down woes, maybe some interceptions from Kirk. Needless to say, the numbers are what they are. New Orleans, 17th in yards per play, yet 19th in points per play. Clearly, New Orleans doing more with less offensively, but I'll attribute some of that help from the defensive side. Now, the Eagles game was the real enigma for me with this defense from the Saints. Saints and Dennis Allen had really no tape on Jalen Hurts, who just gashed this defense on long runs all game. Miles Sanders runs for 115, but 82 of those come on one run alone. Look, I'll take out that Philly game as a complete anomaly defensively for this Saints entire defense. And as for the Chiefs game, again, the Chiefs dominate time of possession, which proved to be a huge outlier in the game. This is not a typical Saints game the way they played against the Chiefs, but a lot of that had to do with the Saints not being able to convert first downs, and there was a lot of 3-and-outs, gave the Chiefs the ability to really dominate clock. But again, very low yards per play. So overall, I consider that a big win for that Saints defense last week. Biggest discrepancy here in this one, though, is going to be this Saints defense versus the Vikings defense. Saints D on paper is far better versus the run in the pass than the Vikes. But the Saints offense just looked lost last week, right? They may be able to rebound here, but with no Thomas and defense is keying in on Kamara, this offense is going to have issues moving the football with consistency, at least over the next few games. Now, I look at 2 teams who early in games recently have struggled to put up points on the board. It's tough to gauge the Saints exactly, as they had no Breeze from before the Chiefs game, but that was a tough first half from them, and they mustered up some points late. But I'd argue KC knew they already had that one and conceded some late plays in front of them. Now, Minnesota is by no means a good defense, so Saints should be able to move the ball well today. But it's also worth noting that despite all of Minnesota's flaws, they are the 5th best red zone defense in the NFL, sort of a bend, don't break, if you will. Now, Minnesota's also really struggled to put up points early in games. The Vikings have not scored more than 10 points in the first half. since the Lions game, which was 7 games ago. And in 4 of their last 6, they've only scored once in the first half. Now, they now draw a good Saints defense, and while they may be able to put it together here, I just can't assume that they will. So, again, for me, the play is going to be first half under 25.5, got that minus 103 on DraftKings in New Jersey. Over on Prize Picks, I like a 2-player power play with a few unders today. Drew Brees under 20 fantasy points. Now, in theory, this number is not that large, but when you break it down for how he has to get there, right? Either 300 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 200 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, it's just a bit much. Now, also inside the 10, Taysom Hill gets some snaps. Brees is missing Thomas and isn't going downfield much these days. So look, if he dinks and dunks me over this number, so be it. The other play is Adam Thielen under 15.8 fantasy points. This is all but Justin Jefferson's team at this point. And while Thielen gets his fair share of looks, especially in the red zone, the big play threat is now Jefferson. Now maybe Thielen's not 100%, but between his lack of target share and Minnesota's commitment to the run, this number's a big one for him to climb over. I'm going to go underneath it. So again, Drew Brees under 20 fantasy points and Adam Thielen under 15.8 fantasy points. Be sure to head over to prizepicks.com and sign up with our code PURE, P-U-R-E, for a 100% deposit bonus match up to $100. Again, free $100, folks. I want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, thumbs up. Create some fake accounts more. Thumbs up. If you did not enjoy, I hope Santa takes a shit in your stockings. As always, drop your comments below with your thoughts on the vid. And look, I want to wish you all a happy holiday. Enjoy the extra time again with friends and family. And as always, folks, gamble responsibly. I'll be back here in the AM on Sunday, talking Week 16 in the NFL. But look, stay safe, everyone.